Hello, my name is Joe. I'm making this video to show you how to install a catch can in a LFX engine on a 2012 Camaro. This is pretty simple. It should take you about a half hour to do, even if you're not that familiar with mechanical or tools. So let's go over the tools you're going to need. Alright, so this is a few tools that I'm going to use to install my catch can. The first thing you're going to need is Allen key. This is used to make up the small screws from the catch can bracket into the actual catch can. You're going to need some Teflon tape. You're going to use that to put on the fittings that screw into the catch can. I'm recommending that you use an adjustable wrench to make up the fittings into the catch can, and the reason I'm suggesting this is because the fittings are going to be seen, and you don't want to use something with teeth like that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but these have teeth, pump pliers or channel locks, and they will actually mar up the fittings. And if you're going to be seeing a finished product, you don't want to see that. So that's why I'm recommending you use a adjustable wrench. It's smooth on the inside and it won't scratch or mar. Okay. You're going to need a 10mm wrench or socket to take off the engine cover bolt. That's where the catch can mounts up to. And you're also going to need something else to hold back, because while you're taking the nut off, the bolt's going to spin. So I'm using just a 10mm open-end wrench. You can use channel locks if you want, but I'd rather use this. Once again, less scratching. Okay. Also, you're going to need a pair of tin snips. This is for cutting the hoses. Or if you don't have a pair of tin snips, you could use a utility knife, or you can use a good pair of scissors. Okay, and finally, a marker. Okay, so first thing you got to do obviously is open up your hood. If you look, I actually somewhat have my catch can installed already, but we're going to go through that. So the first thing you want to do is you have to remove your oil cap. That just unscrews. And the engine cover just pulls straight up. Like so. And if I were you, I would set that down in a safe place, but for right now, working with the camera and working with the car is a little bit difficult with one person. Okay, so this is the bolt cover, the cover bolt that you're going to be mounting the bracket up to. So it's the only one, if you're looking at the car, it's the front left part of the cover, and there's only one of these, just so you know, so you can't like put it on something different. Okay, so once you take this off with the 10mm, okay, we're back. So like I said, you're gonna use a 10mm to remove this bolt. Now if you really wanted, you could just kind of take it off like that, but I don't know if I can show it to you. There is a nut underneath. There it is right there. That nut underneath, if you start spinning this, you got to hold back on that. So that's why I recommended using something to hold back with, either a wrench, a pair of pump pliers, it's up to you. Alright, but you're going to use this to hold back as you take off the top. Once this is off, all you do is take the bracket, put the bolt through the bracket, and there's a lock washer that's provided from you from Elite Engineering's that you want to put on the bolt. The lock washer will prevent the bolt and nut from coming loose as you're driving. Tighten that back up, and the catch can is basically mounted, or the bracket at least is basically mounted. Okay. The Allen keys, like I mentioned before, they're right there. I don't know if you can see them, but they're relatively simple. There's two holes in the top of the catch can that what you do is you just make them up into there. I would say don't make them up just like hand tight. Use an Allen key just to get a little bit of torque on it. Okay. Your fittings. I have the silver. I think they're nickel plated fittings, and like I said, I didn't want to use a pair of channel locks to scratch them up. So what I did was I made up I used a pair of adjustable wrenches. So like I said, you want to use something like this that's soft, not scratching. On this one you want to make it up, and this way it'll look nice when you open your engine and want to show. Okay, I just want to show you guys quickly on putting the Teflon tape on. I'm going to try to do the best I can with one person, but I already made mine up, as you can see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is a bushing. Looks like 3/8 by 1/2 inch bushing. It doesn't have nothing to do with the catch can. The reason I'm using this is to show you how to put the Teflon tape on the threads. Alright, so it doesn't come off. So what you want to do is, you want to hold the fittings with the threading facing to your right. Okay? And I'm going to try to do this with one person. Okay. That'll work for now. So, as you're holding this with the threads to the right, you want to take your Teflon tape and you want to lay it on top of it, and you want to go around clockwise. Okay? If you go counterclockwise when you make up the fitting into the catch can, the Teflon's going to come off and it's useless. So you want to go clockwise, okay, over the top. And I would suggest going around at least 4 times, okay? This way you don't have to worry about any leaks. Alright? That's it, just like that. Okay, once you make up the fittings with the Teflon, you're going to spin them in clockwise. Okay, like I said, use the adjustable wrench. You won't scratch. You can use a pair of channel locks or something else if you prefer. I just didn't want to scratch the fittings. Okay. As far as the top one goes, the top one you have to put, you have to screw it in enough where it's facing out at like a 45-degree angle. This way it doesn't hit the side of the engine cover, and I will show you right now what I'm talking about. So, if you put your engine cover back, see how it doesn't hit? If you push it straight back, that's gonna be covering, and it won't fit down all the way. So you want to kind of go on an angle over here. All right. The other one off the side, that's the outlet. The outlet you want to just put straight going back, okay? Because what that's going to do is the hose will just route up past this and in, right there. Okay. Okay. And this is the other part. This is what really I was afraid of when I was looking into installing the catch can. I wasn't sure what hose I was going to connect into, but as you can see, coming out from the back part of the engine cover, there's 3 hoses. There's 1, 2, and 3. This hose comes straight out of the back and right into your intake. Right there. Okay. Okay, I had to make a change. What I decided to do, you can't actually pull this out of here. So the easiest way to do it is the tube runs from here, comes through, and it runs right back to there, right that. Okay? That end, the end that goes on that piece, looks like that. Okay? And that little piece that's sticking out, if I can show it to you, right here, I don't know if you can see it. See, it's kind of sticking out. All you do to get it off is you kind of just pull it to the right. It's kind of looks like it's kind of spring-loaded. That's all I'm doing is just pulling it back, and it comes right off. Then you can take it out from underneath this back part of the cover right here, and you can untwist the whole thing, and this comes up. You can't just pull it up. As you can see, there's like 2 pieces on the sides, at the top and at the bottom, that kind of fits into. This way it can't just pull up, so you have to kind of pull it out. And what you have to do is you actually have to cut this tube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it on the long side, so this way I have a straight piece to run, and then I'm going to put this little piece back in and cut it probably about 2 inches off of it so I can get the new hose on there. So I'll be right back and I will show you what I did. Okay guys, I'm back. So what I did was to cut the tubing, I had the tool. This is a small tubing cutter. The reason I had it is I'm a plumber, so I have tools like this. But I just want to show you exactly what I used to cut out. This is all of the tubing that I cut out of that whole piece. So as you can see, it's not much, it's just basically the 90-degree angle. It's molded a little bit, and the reason I used that tool was to try to get a round cut on it, as opposed to smashing it down or getting a jagged cut and having a problem with the hose later on. So here is one piece, and here is the other piece. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the pieces back into the car, like so. As you can see, it just spins in, and that's being held on by those 2 clips that's molded in there. Okay, and the back one, you don't want to put around underneath this cover anymore. You want to put it to the side. So what I'm doing is, I don't know if you could see it, but I just pushed it down, and all you do is just push it down and it clicks in. Okay, so you have it just like that. Okay, so coming back to what I did was I pushed this piece of rubber that was basically, I guess, for heat. I pushed it back, I took the hose, I pushed it on, and I put a hose clamp on there. And the way the hose clamps work is there's 2 sides to it. What you want to do is you want to grip it with like a pair of channel locks, like so. But anyway, you basically squeeze that together and it opens up, and you slide it onto the tube. And then all you do is you just let go of it with the channel locks, and it'll go back to its original size and hold the hose in place on the tubing. Alright, so then what I did was, after I got that on, I ran the hose down, and I made a mark with a marker here to cut. And I used a pair of tin snips to cut. You can use a utility knife if you want. I just wanted to do it quicker and try to get it in one solid piece as opposed to being all rigid on the ends. Okay, so now I'm going to show you putting this on the end on the top of the catch can. And you basically just push it on. Push it on all the way. And then you just take your hose clamp and you slide it on. That's all there is to it. Same thing with the top. I took it, I cut it probably about 3 inches. It's all the way to here. I slid the tube on probably about that much. Hose clamp on, and then what I did was I marked where I would need to go. Okay, so that's gonna go right to there. And voila, it's installed. It's tight, well, connections are there. And after you're done, all you gotta do, just put the engine cover back on. Like that. Make sure you take your oil cap back out. Push that down so it catches back on that bolt. And as you can see, it's like just missing. a small little space in there. And don't forget to put your oil cap back in. And you're done. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to post in the comments, and I will try to answer them in as quick as possible as I can. Thank you. Have a nice day.